Well, boys, it happened. We didn't think it was possible, or if it could be done. But it was possible, and it has been done. The Euphoric Brothers pulled a dark revival move and released a trailer out of nowhere without any warning whatsoever, while we were thinking the series wasn't going to go anywhere anymore. See, I told you these guys were copying Bendy in the last video. They copied everything else, so why not? It was only a matter of time. Yeah, that's how that quote goes, right?
I am inevitable.
Spell red.
Spell red?
Yeah.
L-A-E-T-E-R-D.
You stupid.
In the last video, I talked about the background drama of the Euphoric Brothers for the mistakes they made and the mistakes the toxic people online have made. This video, however, is going to be on a lighter note. We're going to be talking about the content from the new Garten of Banban 3 trailer, and what the Euphorics have to do in order to get them a more positive response this time around. But before we get into it, make sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel in case you guys appreciate this form of entertainment. I know some of you guys want certain videos out of me, and the old me would have done them in a heartbeat. But since I recently hit 1,000 subscribers, thanks for that by the way, just like the Euphorics, I need to upgrade my standards as well. I need to make videos with better quality like this one here, along with my horror story in the works, and college, and work, and me getting distracted in my free time. I mean, can you blame me? I know I've certainly been enjoying my afternoons lately.
Oh! Ew! Dude! What the fuck?
Disgusting!
That being said, these videos take hours. It takes so much time to make, sometimes I feel like a corpse on its last legs every time I do one of these. The bottom line is, I'll get to your requests eventually, and I won't accept any more until they are fulfilled. Now that that's out of the way, let's dive right in.
It's about damn time!
It seems like almost yesterday, because it was by the time of this recording, that I was enjoying my evening. My views were doing pretty well, and I was at 960 subs. I was watching YouTube videos until I saw something immediately catch my eye while scrolling down. Behold, the reason I got 1K yesterday. Isn't it beautiful? No? Okay, whatever then. Garten of Banban 3 had dropped a trailer 30 minutes ago by the time I discovered it. I wanted to post a reaction, so I did. Then my views exploded more than my expectations.
No, 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 no.
10K views within half a day says a lot for someone as little and insignificant as I am. The trailer starts off with a beach setting that contains Stinger Flynn, a Jeep, and I still don't know his name. What is it? Hold on, let me check my comments real quick. Okay. Zolphius. I guess that's what we're calling him. Alright then. Then we have an interesting setup, where it appears to look like us, the player, will be able to play as Stinger Flynn. Playing as the monster is something the genuine fans have been asking for months, but they finally decided to give us that option, even though the tentacles are so pointed instead of curves that they might as well be insect legs. Again, not sure what's going on, but there's something in the end of the trailer which happens to imply that this is going to be a memory sequence of some sort from the past. Don't think so? Well then stick around. Next is a Sheriff Toadster jail swamp, which implies him making his first appearance, possibly. A lot of the footage is just puzzles, so we'll skip that, among with the pointless scribbles on the floor. Except for one, which is a quality piece of art referencing my most favorite character in the series, and 2023's best girl.
Stop the cap. Stop the cap right now!
Slow Celine. I know she's top tier. After we spent a romantic night at the Walmart deli together, she gave me this wonderful, steamy snail magazine that I could only think of her while reading it. What, you guys want to see it? Okay, here you go.
What are you looking at, eh? What the heck are you looking at? Got ya. Freaking got ya. You busted.
Alright, moving on. Next one is one I'm very happy to talk about because I called it. We see a twisted version of Banban chasing us down while we were riding the father of the Opila family himself, Daddy Blue Opila Bird. Let's go. I told people multiple times it was gonna happen, and it did. It looks like he's going to play a bit of a good guy role with us, riding him to safety. I can't wait to find out what the interaction with this guy will be when the game drops, but until then, I'll just bask in my victory. Next up is the biggest reveal out of the entirety of the trailer, where we get another new set of characters revealed. And say what you want about the Euphoric Brothers characters, but at least they always catch us off guard and surprise us with their unexpected appearance. The files! If you hack into the game, it's the Blue Apila. What is that? What is that? And who are you? What are you? This thing was so surprising to me in terms of design. You cannot tell me that a purple kangaroo with a crown and a heart wand with eyes coming out of its stomach was your guess for a new character of the series. Captain Fiddles has pants now for some weird reason, and Nab Nab now finally has a female counterpart, which I never thought was going to happen. These two new faces don't have their names revealed yet, so I'm not going to assume anything, but if you want to, go for it. And finally, the one and only makes his grand appearance. Ladies and gentlemen, I give you Stinger Flynn. This wasn't what I expected at all. This guy is huge, making him actually different from the rest of the cast because they all stayed relatively the same size as their wall scribble counterparts. How did he get so huge? I have no clue, but it makes me anticipated to find out when the chapter drops. He towers over Jumbo Josh, but probably not as big as Zolphius. I'm very curious to see how the story goes about explaining that. Now that we got all that out of the way, let's dive into the main topic of this video. We're going to be discussing about the main problems with Garten of Banban, 3 of the main problems anyway, and discussing on how they can fix these problems within the new chapter if they actually watch this video and listen to me, which we all know isn't going to happen, but a guy can dream, right? Number 1. The drone system. The drone has been the main puzzle-solving equipment given to you from the very start of the first chapter. It was a concept that sounded really cool, and that it could lead to amazing and new creative ways to solve puzzles within the new survival horror era. It has massive shoes to fill. But how do they do it? By having you fly into buttons very, very slowly. Riveting gameplay, guys. This has been a problem from the start of the series. Having this sort of system completely disregards the purpose of a drone. It's a type of system where it can work with any sort of object that can fly, whether it be by technology or magic. The way this issue can be fixed is simple. Make the drone have a unique feature and speed up its movement. This would fix 2 big problems with the main side feature. It would make the concept of the feature being a drone actually make sense, along with ending a lot of complaints of the drone being too slow and boring. I don't mind the drone personally, but I can see why these complaints exist. Number 2. The models need more thought. Don't you tell me that models are hard to make. I know they are. I have experience. I know what it's like to make models. I have one for you that's proof of that fact. This model may be simple, but it blows the Garten of Banban models out of the water in terms of having a lot more detail and time put into it. But despite my model being way more complex, the Euphoric Brothers somehow screwed up these models by putting way too much work into them. To make a model, you use these little dots that are called polygons. These things connect the lines to make a shape, and you can change the shape by adjusting those lines. If you want a transformation sequence to stop at a certain point, then you just click on any part of the model to create a new polygon. You'll need quite a few of these to finish a model, but not anywhere near enough to make a PC start to lag from the overload of assets. But for some reason, these easy and simple designs don't just have a high grade poly count, it actually skyrockets to absurd levels. Look at this post from an Oh Yeah video I saw regarding the very topic. How the hell does Banban have a higher poly count than Demon Bendy from the Dark Revival? It seems no matter where he goes, our little dancing darling can't escape these guys. Euphoric Brothers, this is the largest amount of unnecessary work I've seen yet out of Blender. Please do a few clicks to get rid of all these extra polys that the low-tier computers can't handle lag that you're pointlessly putting on them. And finally, number 3, fix your story. I have little to complain about in this game. I like the characters and the designs. I like the drone mechanic regardless of the lost potential. And the main objective is an interesting one to me. But the story is very bare-boned. The stories for indie mascot horror games are just getting worse. To sum it up, people found an element called galvanium. Don't check me on that. And they use it to bring inanimate clay shapes to life? This is the most bland and tasteless story in mascot horror. Sure, you can argue Hello Neighbor or Poppy Playtime, but at least they have creativity within their plots that tie with the main theme or the main characters. Garten of Banban has none of that. It's a random, basic, and 2-second brainstormed idea, just to give a quick explanation of the origin of the monsters. It was not creative whatsoever, and just flat out mindless. Euphoric Brothers, if you're by a miracle listening to this, then here's what you gotta do to fix your story. One of the two simple and easy things is at first, you gotta dive into the story. Give us more details. Maybe give us backstories on the human characters involved with the game so it can be somewhat interesting. And second, try doing some cool plot twists in order to catch players off guard and give them a sense of surprise and confusion so that your story will be more of a thought out and interesting part of the game. Maybe that will be what will happen in the future, but we can't be for sure until the future comes. That's all I have to say for this video. I genuinely hope you enjoyed it. I plan on doing discussion videos on other games, and I won't do another one of these on this title until Chapter 3 drops, for the sake of my sanity and for the sake of yours. But what I will be releasing is 2 speedruns on the first 2 chapters, when they drop, later this week. I want to see if you guys can beat that time without breaking the game if you're interested. I'm off to continue work on Twins of a Feather. I can't wait to share more with this project. It may be short and simple, but it's dear to my heart. Thank you all so much for watching. I've been Luzul, Holy Knight of the One More Table, Defender of Maidens and Justice, and I'll see you all in the... Wait, what do you mean you guys didn't see the snail magazine that the lovely Slow Celine gave me? I clearly put it in front of the screen. The visuals here are stunning. How on earth could you miss them? Fine, I'll show you one more time. I'll give you one more chance, but it's the last time. Are you guys ready? Here you go.
I got you again.